So, everybody, hey, thank you for hanging out with us today. This is Jory. I'm with the Live Your Story community, and I am super excited to come to you today with a special guest. Her name is Kim Gambino, and I've known Kim for, gosh, I think about 20 years or so, something along those lines, pretty close. And I'm super excited to have her today. She's a mover, she's a shaker, she's a leader. She helps serve in her community. She does a lot of amazing things. I've recently reconnected with her on social media, and I follow her and I see the passion and the fire that she brings to whatever she puts her hands to. And so I was thinking, wow, she's part of this community and she's doing great things out there. I thought, hey, let's have her on today. Let's hear a little bit of her story. And then from there, we'll see how you guys can connect with her later. So, Kim, hey, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Hey, Jory, thank you so much for reaching out, and yay, it's good to be here.
Did you have that queued up?
Yay. Um,
Oh, that is awesome, Kim. I love it. I love it.
but it's great. I'm happy to reconnect with a lot of different people on Facebook and through social media, and I really have enjoyed just reading through your Live Your Story. I think it's a great idea and a great platform.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, there's a lot of people in the community, and the goal for you guys that are watching, really the goal for the Live Your Story community, it's really about growing it to the point where like-minded people can get together and connect for other people. So for instance, if you have a heart for missions and we're interviewing someone that's doing mission work, you can connect with them in that group and just ask them questions, and maybe they can give you some wisdom, some advice. Or if you're running a business and you have a heart of compassion, you can connect with another business owner and then they can help you get further along, or you can contribute to them. So that's the whole point of this, Kim, is just really introducing you to this community, to the world at large, because you're doing great things. And so if you don't mind, I just want to ask and just tell us a little bit about yourself so people can kind of get to know you.
Sure. Well, my name is Kim Gambino, and I am from Huntington Station, New York. That's where I grew up, and I grew up as the daughter of home missionaries. My parents started the Helping Hand Rescue Mission in 1965, and so for the first about 22 years of my life, I was involved all the time in my parents' work. It was just what our family did. And whether you wanted to do it or not, you were part of the ministry and part of the family, and you were helping with whatever needed to be helped. You weren't asked if you wanted to help, you were helping. And so as I got older, I had things that I wanted to do that were kind of my own idea. I was very interested in music and things like that. And so I pursued some of those things and ended up in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where we met,
Yep.
Jory, at Christ Church. I was there for, I guess, maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And then ended up back in New York after a sad divorce. Things kind of didn't work out. That's a long story that I could share, but it's a story of God's redemptive work. And I'm thankful to God for his love that helps us through everything that can happen in our lives. There are sometimes times that we can't even imagine things happening, but God brings us through them. So he has brought me through. And so back in 2008, I kind of reconnected with the mission and my parents, who were then a lot older than they were in 65. And they were coming towards the end of life, and really had a desire for the mission to continue. And I kind of came alongside of them and just started helping. I didn't plan to get so involved, but God had other plans, and just really kind of rekindled my heart for our community and the people, and to serve and to love them and to share God's love with them. And so for about the last 11 years, I've been here at the mission. Since 2015, I've been the director of the mission. And Helping Hand Rescue Mission is in Huntington Station, New York, back home again.
Right.
And we serve our local community by helping to provide food and clothing and friendship and love and support, just being there for people if they need someone to talk to, if they need prayer, anything, little things. It's nothing incredible and world-changing. It's little things, but little things that are done with a lot of love, and that makes a whole difference. So I'm happy to be at the mission. We are Tuesday through Friday, Saturdays, and we do a lot of things to help people.
Wow, I know I lived in Colorado for a little while, Kim, and I connected with a local ministry there where they did some things similar, and I got to see firsthand. They would do a food bank, they would do clothing drives, they would get the community involved in helping people.
Yeah,
And it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing. I mean, you're out there in the streets, helping the broken, helping the hurting, helping the poor,
yeah.
and getting them back on their feet.
Yes. And it's so exciting when we see families that do get back on their feet, and we see families that pull ahead, and families that, find the Lord and his plan for their life, and that they can move on in their lives. And I had a lady yesterday who called me, and I haven't heard from her for a long time. And she said, "Hey, Kim, how are you?" And I said, "I'm good." She said, "We're doing really well." And I said, "That's great." And she said, "We want to make a donation for Thanksgiving. We're putting together Thanksgiving food baskets this season, 500 of them this year." And she wanted
Wow.
to donate potatoes, and they had about 25 or 50 bags of 5-pound potatoes. And she was so happy to be giving. She said, "For so long we received from the mission, but now we're happy that we're giving." And so I was really excited for her to be doing that, because when people are not in the place of having to take and they can give, it makes all the difference in the world in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to go a little bit deeper there with Helping Hands Rescue Mission. And so just for you personally, I know you're directing that, and I know that involves a lot of different things, a lot of time, a lot of energy. But I
Yay.
want people to be I want people to be able to hear your heart in what is it that when you wake up in the morning, Kim, that really gets you motivated, even though things may be hard for people, and they're coming in asking for help. What's the fire in you? What caused that? What was it? Something that when you were a little girl that you've always just had this passion, like you were saying, your mom and dad, they've been doing this they were doing it since 1965. That's a lot of years, and you grew up in it. But what's the thing in you that gives you fire and passion to be able to get up and help people every day?
You know what? I love the morning. The morning is my favorite thing. As soon as I open my eyes, I'm excited for the day, just about every single day. And even like today was a really long day. We had a lot to do, and food drive stuff to pick up, and community lunch that we were making, and people signing up. If you look on our Facebook page, yesterday we had a line of people, over 230 different families in our
Wow.
building. And our building is not very big, but I love every day just knowing that there's a purpose and a plan for this day, for that day, greater than anything that I can plan. And I like to make plans and be organized and all those things, but I'm always excited to see what God is going to do, because we never know exactly what he's going to do. And I always know that it's going to involve people. I love people. I'm a total people person. I love just to be with people and to share with people and to hear people's hearts and their hurts and all those different things. And so in a day, we never know what the day is going to be like. No 2 days are the same ever at the mission. And I guess that's one thing that I love. It's never boring. But just knowing that in the day, God has a plan and a purpose, and that I believe our steps are ordered of the Lord, and that as I go through the day, something incredible is going to happen. Like today at lunchtime, there was a man who we've been witnessing to for a long time. And before lunch started, one of my volunteers came and said, "Jose wants to receive Christ today."
Wow.
And to me, that was just the day maker for me. If a soul is worth the world, then my day was made. And we
Mm.
prayed with Jose right there before lunch, and he was saved, and his face, his countenance changed, and he's excited to start going to a church, and his life will be changed forever. And to me, that was just the greatest part of today. And then the second greatest part of today was a little girl who came in, and she was looking for a coat,
Mm.
and she found the coat she wanted, or that fit her. It was a pink coat, and she put it on and hugged it around herself and just went like this. And she was smiling, and she was saying, "I have a coat, I have a coat, tengo un abrigo, tengo un abrigo." And she was so
Mm.
excited to have that little coat. Little things like that that make such a big difference. And her mom said she outgrew her coat from last year, and we didn't have money to get a new one. We're so happy to have this coat.
Mm. So Kim, do you when you're helping people initially, I know that obviously you're building a relationship with people that are coming in. Have you seen when people first come in a transformation like what you just said, a guy that's going to heaven, no doubt. but have you seen people be able to kind of get back on their feet,
Yes.
be productive? Can you just
Yeah.
share with the audience a little bit, maybe just one or two testimonies about people that have come through and you've helped meet basic needs and have been moving forward since?
Sure. There's one lady who she's been on her feet now for a while, and that's so good to see. But when she came, she had been out of work for 6 months, and she was depressed. She was definitely in a place of depression, and she worked in a hospital in the blood lab, and she couldn't find work, and she was just feeling down, and things just were not working out for her, and she had gone through a divorce, and she was a single mom with 2 kids,
Mm.
and she was just depressed. And I remember talking to her and praying with her, and saying, you have skills, you have things that are valuable to to the workplace, and you'll find a job, it'll be okay. And after about 4 months, she came to our pantry every month, and we prayed every month, and she found a job. And after she found her job, she was able to get back on her feet and start. She said, I might have to come a little while more,
Mhm.
while I get caught up on my bills. And I said, you come as long as you need to. It's okay. I'm just glad you have a job and
Yeah.
you're moving forward. And, so she is doing really well, and her kids are doing well. And now they're in high school. And, so it's good to see that someone like that who's moving ahead. Then we have a family who their kids grew up through we have a program called Happy Day Kids, and the girls came when they were very little. It's for 5 to 12-year-olds, and they came probably from 5 to 12, and then their parents came to know the Lord, and they started going to a local Assembly of God church, and they have their own home. It's beautiful. The parents are working. It's just beautiful when I see them and see their life. Actually, my mom passed away 2.5 years ago. She got cancer and
Mhm.
died in a 2-week time period from
Mm.
when she was diagnosed. It was very fast, and she was an energy ball before that, right up until she said, nowhere in the Bible does it say retire, so I'm working for Jesus. And she would be at the gym running in the mornings. I mean, she was 80 years old.
You had to keep up with her, right?
I did. One day I was looking for her and I couldn't find her in the morning. And I went driving and I called someone and I said, have you seen my mom? And they said, I think she's at the Y. And I thought she's running through the gym. I was like, oh my gosh, there she goes. And she said, yes, I'm in the Silver Sneakers program. She was all happy.
Oh,
But
that's good.
yes, so she the girls came, these two little girls who were now, I guess they were like maybe 17 and 18, and they came to the hospital when my mom was so sick, and they prayed over my mother.
Mm.
And I remember just thinking, these little girls, the fruit in their life is a result of the seeds that she planted. And what a beautiful thing to have these girls praying for her at her
Mm.
time of need when she was there at their time of need. Amazing. That was just
Wow.
amazing to me.
I just to kind of open the door a little bit in my life, I know that there was a season where we my wife and I we lived in Mexico for a year and we didn't have a lot of money, and we saw poverty that just really kind of woke us up to what's really out there in the world. And I remember there was a season that we actually had to go to a food bank, and it was embarrassing. The pride was hit. It's like, oh, I can't support myself. I can't buy food or whatnot. And I know the feeling of having to just shed the shame,
Mhm.
so to speak, to be able to get help. And
Sure.
so what do you see is the most important thing for people when they're coming? Do you feel like if there's a word you could give them, if somebody's struggling out there, they're having a hard time either getting food, just basic necessities, or maybe they're not even suffering financially or anything like that, but if there's a word that you could give to somebody today that you could share with them, what would you tell them right now?
Persevere. No matter what it is, persevere. Because I always tell people that this is a season of your life, and seasons change. Just like winter turns to spring, and spring to summer, and summer to fall, seasons change, and we have to persevere through those seasons. I know when I've gone through some really hard times, just knowing that God's promise is to prosper us, not to harm us, plan to give us a hope and a future, that if we persevere, if we will be faithful, if we will just keep going forward, we can't go back, we can't change anything that's happened, but to persevere and keep moving forward, that
Mm.
you'll see in due time, just new things. And I think that's good.
So Kim, just kind of shift gears a little bit. And that's a good word. That's amazing. That's for somebody out there right now. When you're watching this and you're listening to this, I'm just praying that that will really impact you. Persevere through your season. You never know. You don't know how long that season's going to be,
Yeah.
but that's where you have hope. That's where you have faith, and
Yes.
that's where you have community. If you're not in community, guys, get in community. I keep hearing Kim say she's in the community. People are out there helping. Get out there. Don't be alone, for sure.
Absolutely.
Wow. So you also, just briefly, you just to go back just for a second, you're John Maxwell certified speaker,
Yes.
trainer, coach,
Yep.
everything. And I love following your post and your motivation. How is getting certified through John Maxwell and doing what you've been doing for a number of years with the rescue mission? What do you go out and do you speak in the community? What is it that you do to help people, leadership, and all that kind of stuff?
Well, for a number of years, I've gone out and spoken in the community on behalf of the mission, and I wanted to be better at it because I felt like I was sharing the same things all the time, and I wanted it to feel fresh and new. I wanted my thoughts to feel more organized. So I started following John Maxwell and a lot of his teachings and things like that, and reading some of his books. And then I decided that I wanted to go ahead and go through the program and become a certified speaker and coach through the John Maxwell team. And it's been such a wonderful, incredible support system.
Hmm.
And it opened doors to a lot of new people, to new venues for speaking and sharing and encouraging people. And so I love that. I love connecting with people, encouraging people, and sharing from my heart. And John Maxwell, all of the principles of that really do go with the, my values and my core values.
Hmm. I can tell. I mean, anytime I see one of your posts, I just get encouraged. I can see. So raise those pom poms again if you still have them. So that's the feeling I get when I see one of those motivational
That's
quotes.
how I am. I just want to cheer myself through the day. Sometimes we just have to be our own cheerleader,
Mm,
because I know everybody's like, "Oh, Kim, come on, whatever." But you know what? You really have to. I mean, there's a verse in the Psalms that says David encouraged himself in the Lord.
mm,
And sometimes we have to just encourage ourselves, encourage others, and just know that we're doing what we're doing for what? What is the reason? What's our why? Why are we doing this?
mm,
And at the heart of service is, we're serving, of course, the Lord first, but in serving others, we're serving Him in an even greater way. And
I love it. Ah.
I love that. I love, at the end of the day, I'm ready to go to sleep. I go to bed fairly early because I get up very early, but I just, before I go to bed, I just recount the day in my mind. And you see places that you could have done better, of
Mhm.
course. You see things you could have done differently, but I try to really focus on all the wonderful things that God did in that day. And right now we're embarking on our Thanksgiving food drive, and 500 boxes and about 250 bags of food. It's a lot of food for our little mission. But it's exciting to know that it will all come together. And we've done food drives, and we've posted things online and done fundraisers and all these things. But just to see it come together is an exciting thing. And so the last few nights, I've just been kind of recounting the people that brought bags of food and boxes of food and dropped off $20, and whatever, $50, clubs that sponsored things like that. And to see it all come together is just an awesome, wonderful thing.
Well, so you got a lot of people out there watching, and they're like, so I got a lot of places I really want to go with this. It's just amazing, and I want to take too much time, but so we're entering a season of giving. We're entering a season that people feel alone, and we're entering a season that is joyful as well. So for the people that are out there that are going, Kim, it's awesome that you're doing this, but what can I do to help? Whether I can partner with you in your mission, even if I'm way over here in this state, how can I follow you, partner with you, or what can I do in my local community? What kind of encouragement would you give somebody that's just saying, what can I do?
Well, first I'll tell you what you can do in your local community, because that's important. Where you are is important. The people around you are important. And I guarantee you that in your town, in your city where you live, there are people that are in need. And, you don't have to do anything spectacular, but a great idea is to go, even if you have $20, to go to the dollar store and buy 20 things, hygiene products, things like that. Put them in little bags and share them maybe with a school nurse at your local school, or find some people, if you have homeless people, share with them. Find a local shelter, volunteer at a soup kitchen, find things that are in place and kind of grow from there. See if your church wants to do an outreach. Go if there's a local shelter and find out if there's children there. See if you can get with some friends and get a few little gifts. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. People just love to be loved and remembered. There are a lot of things to do. And if you want to connect with me and Helping Hand Rescue Mission, you can go to our website. It's www.hhrm.org, like helpinghandrescuemission.org. And you can find out a lot of information about our mission there. You can join my Facebook page, Helping Hand Rescue Mission. And we update that fairly regularly with lots of information about the upcoming things and needs and successes and testimonies. And I get excited updating it. I do. I love updating the Facebook page. Then I have my own Facebook page, Kim Gambino, and you're welcome to follow me. I try to be inspirational and motivational. And, I'm a very real person. My life is not perfect. I have an awesome husband who we've been married for 8.5 years now. Well, not quite a half, but almost. And between the two of us, we're a blended family. We've got 5 kids from 26 to 11.
Wow.
And yeah. And we love them all. And so I'm not purporting to be any incredible person, but I have an incredible God. And he's faithful to me, and he's seen me through a lot of things, and he's faithful in, helping me every day to find a purpose and a plan, and to know that I can keep going, and I'm just going to say this because somebody needs to hear this, Jory.
Go. I knew you had something. I knew there was something there.
There's somebody there who doesn't feel like you can keep going. And I know what it's like to feel like you can't keep going, but you can do it. Just really draw your strength from the Lord. You cannot draw it from yourself. Surround yourself with people that will encourage you and believe in your dream and your heart and God's plan for your life. And pray. Thank God for working his good and perfect will out in your life, and you will see him do incredible things. It might not be overnight. My life took years, and it's still taking years to kind of move along and to feel like I was going to the place that I felt like I should be in. And I don't feel like I've arrived at all. I feel like I have so much more that I want to do. But I would encourage you just to seek God and to press in, and to know that he has a plan and a purpose for your life. And you might not see it now. You might be convinced that there is no plan and purpose, but I'm telling you, there's a plan and a purpose for your life, and God has something special and wonderful things for you.
Oh, man, that's awesome, Kim. Thank you for leaving that with us. That is perfect, because I knew there was something in there you were going to share with somebody. I knew it in my spirit. I just knew it. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you're out in New York. I'm in Arizona, so it's a couple hours difference right now for you. So you need to go get some dinner, be with your family, get your rest, and then be ready to hit it tomorrow. But hey, guys that are watching, don't forget, follow Kim. You can go to her personal profile there. Go to the page of Helping Hands Rescue Mission. You can look that up. If you're in the community, you can ask her questions. Just connect with her. She's a wealth of information. She has tons of life experience. And if you're one of those people that are having a hard time, reach out. I guarantee you there's a lot of people in this community that'll surround you. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us, Kim. Thank you for your time. And we'll definitely be connecting soon for sure.
I'm excited. Thank you so much, Jory. I appreciate you having me.
Awesome. All right. We'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.